Cool. Wonderful. All right. Well, welcome to MAXA Training 2.0, everyone. Very excited to have you all here. Very excited to go over this very fun program with all of you. So why don't we just dive right in? All right. So, little overview about what MAXA is. MAXA is a platform provided by the Higgins Group for all Higgins Group ages, which just have, or agents, that includes, all of our team members. It exists as a design platform for us to use through your browser. So from here, you'll have access to a myriad of Higgins branded templates and also, more importantly, Vanderblue team branded templates for you all to use that I've created, that I supervise as admin. So should you ever need any technical support or you have any specific requests, I'm the guy you're going to go to make sure that those things get created for you. So starting from step one, every one of our team members does have a MAXA account. I've created it for you through the admin side. It is through your Vanderblue email. And this is where we're going to get a little bit specific. So when MAXA was first being launched, it was being launched with every single Higgins Group agent, and the default login for the launch program was, and write this down, if you joined the team prior to January of 2021, or sorry, January of 2023, your Higgins or your MAXA login is going to be lowercase Higgins 2023. That is for all team members who have been on this team prior to January of 2023. For team members who joined after that initial launch, so Gabriella, this will be you. This will be any of our new team members who have joined in the last 2 weeks or months. Your login will be Blue Team 2023 with a capital B. So just for that specification, if you're a newer agent that joined after the new year, that's great. If you joined prior to January, it will be that other login. So just make sure you have that clarified. That's your default login. So when you first access the platform, that's the key you'll use to just get into the main dashboard.
It was lowercase Higgins 2023.
Correct.
But if you just go through the Higgins dashboard, you're fine. You go right into it.
You may have already logged in.
You
Yeah.
logged in through that way.
Correct.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I should specify, there are a few ways to get to this initial login page. The base URL is going to be higginsgroupdesign.com. You can either type that directly into your search bar, or you can access this through the Higgins Group dash. It'll be right on the front page. It'll, it's branded Big MAXA. Click here to take you to this page.
So why didn't you open it?
I could not. Okay.
Grace, what was the direct login again? Excuse me.
The direct login for all team members who joined the Vanderblue team prior to January of 2023 is going to be your Vanderblue team email, and that the password will be lowercase Higgins 2023.
Yes, there was another thing though, going to the website instead of going to the Higgins site. What was that?
You could just either go directly to this landing page using higginsgroupdesign.com.
Okay, thank you.
Or you can access this through, again, the Higgins dashboard front page.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So that's how we get here. Once we log in, I'm going to take you guys through kind of the orientation of it. So this is going to be your main dashboard. If you're signing on for the first time, though, you're not going to see this immediately. It's going to prompt you to set up your account and get all of your information in there. So this is going to be one of the first things you want to take care of before doing anything on a MAXA platform, because it is from this page that all of your information is going to be pulled into these custom templates. With every template that you design from your account, it's going to customize it directly based off of these information markers. So all the templates that require, first name, last name, your title, your contact information, it will pull directly based off of what you fill out here. You can upload cute little photos of yourselves. This one's supposed to be transparent. It's not. But the photos that you want to use to populate on your images, we've got a logo here. Also bear in mind, all the Vanderblue team themed templates are already Vanderblue branded. So you don't necessarily have to upload a logo, but it's nice to have if you decide to do like Higgins design and want to populate the Vanderblue team logo on that. You can add your license number here. If you have your personal website through like Sierra, let's say, and you want that advertised as well on your materials, this is a great place to upload that. So like I said, first thing you want to do when you're just getting set up is get all of this filled out. You can always get back to it later, but it's nice to just have it in mind so that whenever you start creating new designs, it's already filling in. Go to your settings, you can update your password from here so that you don't have to just use the base password. It can, be whatever is easiest for you to remember. You have language options down below, English and Spanish. Your archive is where you can find any deleted designs, if it's old, if it's out of date. This is just in case you accidentally delete something, you can always go back to it. And then your activity, you can kind of see what you've been doing over the last while. As you can see, I'm a very busy bee. I've got a lot going on in my activity. But that's essentially setting up your base account, which is great. Also from here, for anyone who likes to collaborate with other team members, if you're collaborating with, say, Julie or with, your accountability partner, there's also a section in here labeled partners that you can fill out your partner's information. We have a couple of templates that allow for multiple people to be on the template. So you can have like a 2-agent mailer or a 2-agent flyer. To populate your partner's information, you can just fill it out here. You can upload their photo, upload all of their information, and you can have multiple partners as well. So if you're partnering with, say, Julie on one deal or like Brianna on another, you can select, okay, I want Julie's face on this card. I want this other agent on this card. And you can also do this for other business collaborators. So if you guys are dealing with Cardinal Financial, or if you have other vendors that you want to have, subsidize some of these mailers for you, you can also fill out their information here and then also upload their logo over here, and it'll serve that same purpose. Does that make sense?
Hey, Grace.
Yes.
That totally makes sense, but question, if you start to type, let's say Kelly, will
Yeah.
her information auto-populate, or do I actually have to upload her photo?
So you have to upload your the information and photos, but once you upload that information here in your partner's account and that's set up, then when you go into that 2-agent mailer or that 2-agent flyer, it will prompt you to say, okay, this is 2 agents. Your information will already be on there. Select the partner that you want to auto-populate. And then from there, it will pull from Kelly's agent profile here that you fill
Okay. Thank you.
in. Yes. Right. All right. So I wish I knew how to make this fit sideways. Sorry, I'm playing with Zoom a little bit. Don't mind me. I'm just going to situate this guy over here for now. Oh, perfect. That works. All right. So that's getting your general situation sorted. Your account is ready to go. You have whatever partners you want uploaded, and you can always add new ones or remove, as you see fit. But with your account set up and ready to go, we can now dive into the dashboard. So if you click on the Higgins Group logo up here in the corner, that will directly bring you to your dashboard, as well as, all those bits and bobs. We can get into that later. But let's focus on the dashboard for now. This is where you have access to all of your templates available to you and all of the designs you've created. So you can have some free-floating designs hanging out over here. You can create folders if you want to sort based on what you're using them for. The way I have them sorted for myself right now, I have mailers that people are sending out to specific towns. I have new listing flyers, and I have new listing mailers. That's just because I've got so much going on. I want to be able to keep track of where specific projects are at. Otherwise, they'll simply populate in either order of most recent or alphabetical. Organize it as you see fit. But this is where all of your designs live. And to be specific, these are your designs based off of the templates that you have available. These are specific to your account. So not everyone in the rest of the team will be able to have like these exact same designs. So if I've created, a 2-sided flyer for my property over here, unless I actively go to share with someone else, they're not going to be able to see it.
Plus 600.
All right, so that's our dashboard. Now I'm going to take us through, let's make that big. I'm going to take us through the different templates we have available. So if you go to the search bar on the side over here, you can either search for specific templates, or you can scroll down. Most popular templates will be most frequented throughout the whole organization. So as you can see, there's definitely a Higgins Group bias just because got a lot of people on Higgins. You scroll down, you're not gonna get the admin only. I'm sorry, that's a grace privilege. Ignore this, you don't get to see that. But you can see that different teams also have their own exclusive templates. We just so happen to have the most. But also from here, you can see all the digital versions, some of the different templates through Higgins. And
We
again,
should just go through Vanderbilt,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
for the most part.
Correct. For the sake of, addressing it, you do have access to all of these, but I've created essentially identical versions of these, but Vanderbilt branded. So any of this that you see up here that you're like, oh, that's pretty nice, chances are likely that it's going to exist down below under the Vanderbilt team.
If I was gonna add like a different town, for example, like something that looks more like Weston or Wilton, like is it possible to add like, because I see like different towns there, is it you adding it or can I like customize it?
Yeah, so I'm going to get into that in just a moment so far as how specific we can get with the customization of these things.
Okay.
In part of the design aspect, we do have access to a couple of different town photo libraries that you'll be able to pull from if you want to show off like, oh, here's, an aerial view of Westport, or here's like downtown Norwalk. So there are definitely ways to showcase town specific designs. So we will get to that when we get into like the actual editing process. But for now, I'm just going to showcase the different templates we have available right now for you guys to use. We've got clickable HTML newsletters. Always fun if you want to send out a clickable e-blast. Here are a couple of different formats that we can do. And again, all of these things with kind of like, oh, this one says open house, this one says market update. If you like the layout and the formatting, all of this text is editable. You are not necessarily committed to any of these things when it comes to like, oh, I want this to say something different. About, I would say 90% of the text on a given template is going to be editable if there's something there that you want to switch out.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So is that all, so the templates are all set up for legal stuff too, right? So all that legal verbiage we need is all set in there, right? Or
Yes, so it depends on the material that we're using, but say for the, let's see, if we go into the town flyers, down here, we have a couple of, or I should say property flyers. We have a couple of here. And if you look at the back side, we have disclosures on the back or disclaimers on the
so
back.
they're all there. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
They are there. There are going to be parts of these templates that you will not be able to edit. Those things are going to be stuff like logos, these disclaimers, the equal housing realtor logos, so that as you're designing, there's not going to be any risk of deleting stuff that needs to be on there. You can edit your text, you can edit these photos. Some of the design elements can be shifted around and unlocked, but key things like logos and disclosures are going to just be there and you don't have to worry about them. All right. Yeah, and again, kind of just bouncing back, if we want to go through, we've got email newsletters, we've got social media banners for Facebook and LinkedIn. We've got two-sided door knockers. You're going around the neighborhood. We have email campaign newsletters. We've got signatures. We've got Instagram stories for social media. We've got letterheads. Working on listing presentation stuff. I had exactly one cover. I'm working on getting the rest of the library in here as well. We've got mailers. We've got so many mailers and we have them organized by category, which I'm so excited about. I learned how to make subfolders in here the other week and it makes me smile. Where's the mailer? So,
Hey, Grace,
yes.
in terms of the postcards, Ellen and I participate in the Higgins program where the postcards have to be a 9x6, I think.
Sure.
So there aren't very many, I don't think.
We can create some 9x6.
We absolutely can. I think there are a few 9x6.5s in here, but if there's a specific size that you need in order to go through that particular channel, I can.
Okay, my question was, can I take any of these templates and change the size? And it sounds like no.
From your end of things, I do not believe so.
Okay.
At least not easily. A few of the elements on this page are going to be locked in place, and when you go to tweak the dimensions, I don't believe there would be a way for you to manually adjust to make sure that things aren't falling off the page.
Yeah, I tried it. didn't work out so well.
I'm gonna make a note to adjust some of these to have 9x6 options.
And if you
Thank
have
you.
favorites, Christina, just text
Yeah.
them over and we'll make sure we focus on those.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. But if you want to kind of go through the full catalog of mailers is here with different dimensions. Some of these have EDDM postage on there as well. This is kind of its own training in and of itself that I want to have at some point as far as going through and making sure that when you go through the mailer creation process, we're checking off all the boxes that need to get checked right at the start. But for now, if we're just looking at templates, we have listing mailers, so we've got just sold, we've got just sold, we've got open houses, we have coming soons. And again, if you see any of this text on here that's specific as like, oh, it's an open house, oh, it's a luxury listing, all of this text is editable. So if you say, oh, well, I want to do a just sold, but this one says new listing, you can always flip the language to be whatever you need it to be. There's a variety of single agent and co-listing agents. There's space on here if you plan on having a secondary business help subsidize the cost. We can always drop in their logo on the page as well.
Is there a template with that?
Out of these templates, no, but as a point of example, I can go to my designs and showcase what Colleen and Floria did with Nick the other week, whenever this was. We scroll down, and this will just take us right into the editor, which I think is a pretty good transition for what we want to do next. Let's got to think about it. And I am going to reiterate, this whole program is based out of your browser, so you do need to have internet access in order to do any of this. So it's not a program that you can just download. If your internet is slow, the program is going to be slow, just as a heads up.
And this internet is slow.
A little bit sluggish.
Throwing that
I think you're absolutely right.
There we go. Okay. So, point of example, this was Gloria and Colleen's beautiful
It
seasonal
is beautiful,
mailer.
isn't it?
Lovely spring market messaging showcasing #1 in closed transactions in Fairfield. Some great spring imagery. Looks great. This was in partnership with Cardinal Financial. So you have the Cardinal Financial logo up top. We've got Nick Cassie's beautiful face down here. All your information set to go. And make note, this is an EDDM mailer. So we need to have these specific elements on there. Otherwise, you're
You'll
going to
stamp, you'll stamp, you'll stamp, you'll stamp.
you're going to get quite the arm workout. To avoid that, if you know right out the gate as you start designing that you want to send this out via EDDM, then you know ahead of time that you need to include these in your designs versus getting right to the end and realizing, oh, I've got to make sure that this is on here and isn't, obscuring anything else.
Do you have that listed when you have the mailers listed in the
Yes.
title?
Yes, the titles are listed EDDM, or it's more specific as, this is an EDDM postcard. So if we go here, you can see, one example, EDDM, new listing postcard. And if you look back, you can see that Anisha there.
And I still through spring.
So the EDDM, you can have stuff on the bottom of it.
Yes, as long as this information is on the back, the rest of this is fairly open play versus stuff like Prospect Plus, where they have their own kind of mailing information that they're going to print directly on the card that we have to be aware it does not, occlude any of the design. So that's that. So that's kind of a brief overview of the various templates that we have here. We want to kind of keep going. We've got smaller property brochures. This is 4-page, 8-page, and another 11 by 17. Fold them over. We do not have the capacity to put our full-size brochure templates in here. Our brochures can go anywhere from like 14 to 40 pages, depending on the listing. And this program does not have the bandwidth to host that.
And it turns into a flip book.
So this can either be saved as a PDF or you can print it through their printer services. This does not automatically create a flipbook though. So that would be a means of, you send me the final PDF and I can create that.
Okay, and you can download it as a PDF.
Correct.
Okay.
So those are there. Yeah, again, those property flyers, single-sided, two-sided,
Can I
agent.
ask another question? Sorry.
Yes.
The flip book that Higgins used, you know, the one with like the butterfly moves and whatever, we can do that, or do we have to
It's
still
not
go through Amy? Like
That's, yeah,
yours for you and Amy for that?
correct.
Okay.
That is an Amy project.
Okay.
Can she do that visualized?
Yeah, I had her do it. It's amazing.
What kind of notice does she need? Like, do you know, how do you coordinate that with her?
I gave her like,
Give her chocolate.
I gave her chocolate in 3 days, yeah. She doesn't, I mean, it depends how busy she is, just like Grace, so it's as much notice you can give her. But I thought it looks amazing. It does look amazing.
Never count out the resources you guys have at your disposal for making nice looking graphics for your listings. These tools are here for you guys to use in order to best represent yourselves and your properties and your clients. Because I mean, this stuff looks sharp. This is created by professional designers that already looks good and is available for you guys to use whenever you need them.
And what are these?
These are social media posts. So if you want to create just a nice looking little Instagram post about yourself, we've got a nice little, example of our core value. If you have one in mind that you want to showcase, if you have it coming soon, a couple of listings.
And it has all the branding that's
It's got all
required,
the-
so it's easy.
There you go. And then you can tweak as you see fit. And we've also got a handful of thank you notes. So,
Has anybody printed through the company yet?
that is an excellent question. I cannot necessarily answer that because that's specific to your individual accounts to go through the, select printer process and then carry that out. But we can definitely kind of proof that out when we go
So most
through.
people are sending it to PDF and then.
From what I've seen, because I can see who's using this platform, more of you need to be using this platform. The majority of the use right now is for mailers and creating social media posts, which is great. When it comes to the social media posts, those do not require any sort of compliance or checkoff from me in order for you to download and then upload to your social media. Anything that's going to be printed though, you guys may have noticed that when you're going through the design process, before you can hit download or before you can hit, I think you should be able to share, but before you can hit download and go on and distribute it elsewhere, it does need to pass through me first to make sure that nothing is looking out of sorts.
Does
It's
it
just a
automatically
final-
go to you?
Yes.
Okay.
When you hit, submit to compliance, I get a notification in my inbox saying a design is waiting for review. I click in, I give a once over, and if I see that it all looks good, I just hit approve and you're set to go with that design. You can download it, you can print it, do whatever you want with it. Just make note that once a design is approved and you go back and edit, it's going to have to be submitted to compliance for one more check, right? Just as a point of practice. If it does not, if I see something on there and I say, let's adjust, before we send this to print, I can either go in myself and tweak things from my own end and then hit approve for you, or I can write you a note and say, hey, go back, make this font a little bit bigger, or this photo looks blurry, let's readjust. And then once those edits are then made and then resubmitted, then I'll stamp it and you're free to go with that. But that compliance is just to make sure that as you guys are working in here, I have full knowledge of this platform. I can sort of see things from like a different lens. And as a final check, making sure, T's are crossed and I's are dotted, making sure things look good before it goes out in the world. So from here, now that I've kind of talked your ears off, why don't we go in and build something? Why don't we go in and let's see, let's make a flyer. These are really good points of example of kind of just what MAXA can do for you when it comes to creating quick listing designs. I'm going to situate you here. So this is one of our beautiful mailer designs. It's a single-sided, it's a just listed. If you need something sharp to hand out at, a broker's open or, to just carry around with you to hand out, this is a great way to create something quick. So we're going to go to create design. And then from here, you can directly write in whatever property you're looking to showcase. So I go to is going to be, let's do 18 Vandy because that is a lovely home. There we go. So this populates everything from your MLS.
What if it wasn't on MLS yet?
Then you're not going to be able to pull from it. You're going to have to input all this manually. You can still move forward with the design. You just have to upload all this information manually in the editor. But
It's coming soon, will it pull it, or it has to be live?
as long as it's on the MLS and it has an MLS number, you should be able to drop it in.
Oh, even if it's on incoming?
I believe.
Oh, cool.
I think so long as it has a
We'll try
number.
that out.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
try
try
that
that out and let
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
try it out as proof of concept, but
Actually, what do you have?
Try it out, yeah.
58 Valley View, because I already created the MLS.
all right.
I'm gonna go
let's-
and fill
just
that in this
see.
weekend.
I'll just see if it's there.
All right, let's give that a look. Let's see. We're all learning together at the same time here. We're going to see if from the MLS we can pull a coming soon. You said what?
58 Valley View. Is it
I
two
think
words?
coming soon, you'll
Well, you didn't
definitely be
you
able.
didn't put it on the coming soon yet.
I think coming
No, it's on
soon,
incoming.
Incoming,
so
yeah.
coming soon, I
New
think,
Canaan?
No,
Mm,
Monroe.
Sorry, what were you saying, Julie?
coming soon, I think you'll definitely be able to do.
But
Because it's on
incoming-
MLS.
Yeah.
I don't know about transactions, but it should give you, if you save it, it'll give you that number.
Yeah, well, I have it as incoming, it's already created, that's why I didn't know if it would pull it. if
It's
not
2 words.
incoming.
What is it, 58 Valley View? I'm gonna
The MLS
see,
number.
I'm gonna see if I can find the MLS number and write it down, because we'll see if we can do it. through MLS.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
So
see
it's
on
not,
this.
Okay,
It,
so it seems like it needs to be.
it may need to be publicly viewable
Right.
in order to pull from that,
Okay.
so.
Just
Just
curious.
as-
So maybe you do that, but not a big deal, knowing that, you just do those right as soon as it's created.
Or to. You
Or
just-
do it
manually.
Yeah, do it manually.
Yep, if at any point you can use any of these listings, flyers, templates, and it can prompt you to say, hey, do you want to use, an MLS listing for this? You do not have to. If you want to say like, oh, this property sold however many years back, it's not on MLS or I can't find this number, you can still go in and use this and drop in whatever photos, whatever language you want. All of this will be actively editable. So you don't need to be committed to a certain property in order to use them.
Right.
So
You can go back to Zanny then if that makes more sense.
let's do that. So let's pull from here. And we're going to create a design. Alrighty.
Can we try this one?
Oh, okay. Well, let's just see if the 170 56065.
It's just slow.
Wood duck.
Is that a 1 instead of a 5?
Is that a one?
It might be.
Okay. Thinking about it. All right. So this
Now
may be a
it's too old.
situation.
Yeah.
This may be a situation where
So
your listing has to be live
Okay, that's fine.
before you can use it.
All right.
Just good to know.
Yeah. Right. Let's actually jump in here and get into editing. All right, so we have our listing. We have all this information that's pulled directly from the MLS. If you want a headline about any of this, I think if you just leave it blank, it'll just say just listed. I'll do 18 Vandy Court. And you can see here, we do have a 500 character limit for this blurby here. It's obviously very small. So if you're pulling from your MLS description, just be aware that you're probably going to have to shave some things off. So let's find delete some of this. And now we're just under the 500 character limit. Love to see it. And you can see everything else that pulls from the MLS. We've got the number, we've got the price, bedrooms, baths, square footage for whatever reason everyone wants to populate.
And you just pick the pictures from there.
Correct. This will be all the photos that you've uploaded to your MLS for your listing.
Wow.
So that has all 40 at your disposal. For this particular design, we only need 3. But if you're not sure if you want to be able to upload, a whole host of them, you can just select all and they'll all input into your.
You just drag your pictures over, or no, you have to,
So why don't we just select all? Otherwise, what we would do would be deselect and just select your 1, 2, 3.
okay.
But let's just select all just so that we have all these at our disposal in our editor. And just confirm it's your listing. It's fine. And we're going to go ahead and create. So it's going to think, it's going to populate. And remember, this is going to be pulling from your MLS as well as your account page. So anything you have for your contact information, for your photo, all of that stuff is what's going to be pulled into the contact information at the bottom down here. All right. Taking its time. While this is loading, do we have any questions so far? Yes, ma'am.
Grace, I have a quick question, but it's on the email signatures.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'd like to include my Instagram and Facebook icons. And I also wondered, can I include Wednesdays and Westport on my email signature so people can go to that?
You should be able to. So now that we're in the editor, I can showcase all of the elements that we have at our disposal for any given design. That just because it's not here on the listing or on the template doesn't mean we can't go ahead and include it. So if we go in, we can see that description is pretty long. So we're going to smallify that. We're going to tweak and pull until it's not quite so messy. I'll reformat that in a minute. But you can see the elements here that are directly editable. And for the things that aren't, why isn't just listed editable? That's so curious. Is it because it's locked? If we go to the layers panel, we can see exactly what we can directly lock and unlock. For quick reference, anything that has a red lock on it, you will not be able to edit. That's locked by me, the admin, so that we don't accidentally lose those logos or those disclosures at the bottom or disclaimers. However, if you see something with a black lock, you are able to unlock it. That's in place so that as you're editing, you don't accidentally move something that doesn't need to be moved.
Does everybody get that?
That's great.
Yeah. So if you're busy over here and you already know that, yeah, I'm keeping the just listed in place and I don't want to have to worry about accidentally clicking it 500 times over, you can either from the layers panel turn that lock on, or if you right click, you'll scroll down and you'll get that lock. And again, point of reference, just because we're in my account, you will not have access to this admin lock trigger. That is an admin specific thing.
So right click, because otherwise, how do you know that that's text? The just listed, it's text too, I think,
Yep, the box will highlight blue over here.
not that, oh, it will, so
Yep.
do the one that's going up the side. No, yeah.
So this, I have this locked. So if I go to unlock and click, that blue box reflects this blue box.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm just going to go ahead and keep that unlocked for now so that we don't need them. But looking through this design, it looks pretty solid. I don't know why the images didn't populate. That sure is curious. Oh, because we didn't select which images you wanted to use. That's why. I'm so used to just
So you
selecting.
downloaded all of them there, so now you
Yeah.
can choose.
Correct. And you see on this folder, when we go to uploads, there's all sorts of things available here. There are uploads that you specifically have uploaded, images from your account. We'll just go through these. These are all the things that I've been uploading over the last couple of weeks.
So where would you find just the pictures you just uploaded now?
Those will be at the very bottom and it'll be labeled for the listing.
Okay.
And if you open that up, you have all your 40 photos there.
All right, what if it's not an MLS? It's the same situation I have, because I want to do this before it goes on the market.
For sure.
Then I have to manually pull those photos in now because they're not going to automatically load.
Yep. And from there, what you're going to do for that specific situation, you can either go to upload an image or, I gotta deselect that. How do I get back? Here we go. If you go back, you can open a folder. Go to
So they're the
downloads
server, I can pull it in from there.
and just drag and drop.
Okay.
And then they'll upload here and they will exist in the My Uploads folder. All right. So now that we have our 40 photos, we can start deciding what we want placed where.
I'm sorry, back to that, if like Gloria wanted, if she uploaded the photos and wanted to create a folder for that.
Mhm.
You just drag them over, create another folder and drag it over to there.
Do you have to create a folder or? will it
I
automatically-
think it goes straight
You're
into the
gonna
My
leave it-
Uploads.
They're gonna live in this folder though, because.
But
there-
they'll
there
live
was
in my uploads.
flyer.
They will live in the My Uploads folder,
Okay.
which you will once you're done.
Oh. It'll
Like
be
you,
full.
it gets pretty full. You will be able to clear this out when you need to.
But if you clear it out, it'll just clear yours. It won't clear
Yes.
everybody else's.
Correct. It will only clear out the ones that you specifically have uploaded. This does not affect anyone else in the organization.
So I would suggest picking the photos, and just clicking on the ones you want, if you can, instead
Right.
of uploading all of them.
Yep,
Because you only need 3 photos for this one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Flyer.
Exactly. But if you decide somewhere along the process, oh, well, maybe something else might, I wanted this to be the front page one, but it's cropping kind of weird. So this at least gives you access to that fuller library to give you room to play.
And if you wanted to make that photo, can you change the shape of that? Like, can you make that photo zoom out so you can see it?
Yes, so you can see that this is an upload zone. So this box is going to be the frame that your photos fit in. If you click on it, you can see just out here, kind of the boundaries of the actual photo that you've uploaded. So you can resize this if you want. Get it to fit in there. The way that looks like that. But anytime you click this box, this will be your prompt to change whatever photo is in there directly. So, it's not loving the crop on this. So I think I'm going to find something else that maybe sits in that space a little bit better. And then from there, we can shuffle and pull until we get something that we think looks pretty good. So cool. And the same deal with these photos as well. Drop. And let's see. Let's show off Westport and showcase that there. And this description is still not really fitting in
Can
quite.
you move the 3 bedrooms and 4 baths down?
Exactly what I was gonna do, Julie. So I'm gonna move that there. If you click and drag, you can select all of these elements at once and bring it down like that. And if you hold your control button, you can click something else and add it to that group. So now we have space to make this box a little bit taller. Shrink it and get like so. So it's not quite so constrained. And we're gonna tweak, and we're gonna shift. And now we're gonna zoom out. And that's looking pretty, all right, that's looking a certain way. Now, especially when it comes to longer MLS descriptions, the 500 word max is definitely a good rule to follow, just so far as like, that's how many words it can just immediately pull from. But sometimes if you're in here and it seems like, yeah, this seems like kind of a lot to have in just the smallish space, maybe it's, more helpful to get a little bit more, shave it off. Let's next this one sentence here so that we have a little bit more space down below. Things aren't feeling too cramped. But as you can see, it's a really flexible system. A lot of it works similar to Canva, if you guys are familiar with that in terms of being able to stretch and scale and move things around. It's meant to be very user-friendly. And the more you're in this system, the more comfortable you'll be when it comes to using the ins and outs. Now, I want to circle back to Ellen's point where she was talking about maybe adding her social media links in here. If you go to the uploads, we go back here. For the most part, all accounts will have access, ignoring, this bottom one that gets loaded. These, like, I want to say 21 odd folders populate for everyone. So you'll have your My Uploads, which are any photos that you've uploaded to your account. You'll have your account images, which are your pretty headshots and whatever logos you upload. And then you'll have social media icons, shapes, and then you see Higgins Group Darien, Fairfield, town photos that you can use, as well as miscellaneous images, and additional team logos. What I want to showcase is the social media icons. So say you want to add your Instagram, you can click, and then we got an Instagram icon on here. And then we can shrink it like that, stick that there. You want Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, we've got Vimeo, we've got the equal housing, TikTok, whatever you could want. If you want to add, little email icon on here to put next to your bit, just to kind of zhuzh it up, you can drop that in. Like so, say, hey, email me here.
What is that, Grace? I don't know that.
Oh, oh, that is just like a little paper airplane of like, oh, send your mail here.
Can I ask a
And
question?
there are links, so when you.
Can you link that so if you PDF it and email it?
So that is an excellent question. I want to say tools,
Upper right.
it's QR code, upper right. Yes. Oh, eagle eye, Krista. Yes. If you click on any of these images, you can hyperlink. So if you want to link that to your Instagram and save this as a digital file, you should be able to have these as clickable objects. It's not link elsewhere. This QR code is pretty fun. I'm going to go to my layers and see what's going on there. Let's see. Text address QR code. Let's unlock that. We go to click this. It's going to be automatically assigned to vanderblue.com as default. But if you say want to link this to your flipbook for your listing or any other page, you can link this to your Sierra site. You can create whatever URL you want this to link to. So I want this to go to, and now it's going to go to my website. And you can see it changes in real time.
Holy shit.
I'm just going to reformat that.
So you can use this as a QR code creator anyway,
Correct.
for anything.
It'll be, you can't download this QR, to be fair, like to be clear. This is going to be limited to this design.
Okay,
But that specific generator exists for all of these templates.
okay.
So for mailers, for flyers, for anything that you want to hand out that has a QR code, you do have this tool available to create that on your design.
So say the marketing brochure, you have a QR code on that. It's not going to be the same if we create it in here.
No.
Right, okay, I'm just
Yeah.
clarifying.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so that's that. Once again, I'm going to highlight, this section down here. Again, it's pulling my information from my account. So this is my title as marketing director, all my contact information.
Sorry. Understand.
Done a year ago.
I got it today. I'm like, what did I miss? I remember, yeah, okay. That's weird. They'll just text me. So no,
That's because I just told her last night.
okay.
All right, so let's see, we've got pretty much a pretty set in stone looking flyer. Again, this disclaimer down here, these icons down here, you're not going to be able to click and adjust. But I don't know if I'm liking my photo. I don't know about that one. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go look at my uploads and see what else I have in here. And instead of this one, let's go with this one. And now it's updated to something that, reflects me a little bit more. But you can see any of these, upload zones, you can put anything in.
Can you scroll down for a second on the page?
Can you change the size of the picture? Or the shape?
So this may be veering a little bit more into MAXA like 102. From my end, I should be able to. This may be, I may need a brave volunteer to give me their agent account, which has a little bit fewer tools than mine does. Because I can do remove upload zone, and then that removes it from being something that you can just click and ship the photos in. This is now getting a little bit more into the inner workings of how the platform creates the design itself. So by removing that upload zone, the photo is now just sitting freely on the page. But if I want to make this like a different shape, there's going to be some legwork involved.
No, I was talking about the agent headshot.
Yeah,
I
that,
have heard some of that.
yeah, this kind of applies both ways, but
Oh,
let me take a step back. Just to do that more specific one. I'm gonna undo. And just as a point of reference, hotkeys are similar in here, not identical, but Control Z or Command Z if you're a Mac person does work as undo. Or you could use the undo and redo buttons over here in order to take a step back.
I'm gonna undo a little bit more.
Just gotta think about it. There we go. Okay, so that's back in place. But we're gonna do the same thing down here anyways. So if we zoom in. And it's going to be the same deal of we need to remove the upload zone and create a new one to the shape that we want. Now this is like the square image that sits inside that circle. So if you want a square, we're done. Easy breezy. But say I wanted something that looked a little bit more like this. Give me something funny. Give me a hexagon. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty custom. Very unique flavor. We're going to scroll or scale this down just from the corner. Make this small. And we're going to place this about here. But how do I get this into this is the question. Well, we need to make this an upload zone. So we're going to right click on this object. We're going to make this an upload zone. And now when we click on it, we get the same prompt that we get when we go to any of those other photos. So if we go to my uploads and I find this handsome gentleman right here. And now you just delete that. And we've got a brand new icon box. A couple of steps involved, but
And that was a right click.
yep.
Okay. And can you take out the 0682?
Yes. So all of these are still editable fields.
Yeah.
They'll pull from your account. But if you say, I don't actually want, zip code, let's nix that. We can absolutely
You can
do
make a
that.
space in between.
Exactly. And now we can get that in line here. And when it comes to alignment, sometimes freehanding it, I can't quite get it. Can't quite get it quite right. What you can do in that case is you can select whatever you want to align, hit Control, and then I'm gonna grab the URL right above it. You can go to your format tool, and then you'll have these alignment options. Aligning to the artboard will align to the whole design. So if I want to center this, then suddenly they both move straight to the center. That's not really what I want. So I want to Control Z and get this back to where I was just a second ago.
Oh, is that what that is, that the arrow, the back arrow kind of thing is Control Z?
Yes. So I'm going to select those guys again because they're still not, let's make this more readers. He's still not quite lined up where I want it to be. I'm going to select and I'm going to format. Now I'm going to align to selection. So now I'm going to make sure that these guys line up correctly. And I want to make sure that they're aligned to the left, and boom, perfectly one-to-one.
And can you pick $14.99 with the mobile phone so that those two are on the same alignment?
Can do. Oh, and look at that. Oh, it's all Whopper Jack. How do I fix this? And bear in mind, to select multiple, you can either click and drag across all these fields, or you can click and then hold the Control key and keep clicking. Either works. And now we're going to format, and now we're just going to align to the top. And now we're looking good.
Wow.
You might notice that licensed in Connecticut isn't moving for whatever reason. If ever you reach a point in the design where you're like, hey, I want to move this element, you can always check to see if it's movable by going to your layers panel. Huh, what's this block text? Okay, that's the just listed.
Can you click on licensed in Connecticut for a second? So I can see, oh, it doesn't make it blue, so you won't be
Exactly.
able to.
Is
figure
that
it.
red because we need to have that on there?
That is black locked.
Okay.
So if we want this
How
moved
did you
somewhere
know
else.
to check 13 just by guessing?
So, oh, hold on, undo. Come on. There we go. Okay, so if I'm in my layers panel, and this guy, let's make you locked. I can't click it. And trying to figure out what this is in here is a little bit tricky. But if I select any of these, this highlights exactly on the design what it is. So if I see,
You're close.
yep.
Yeah.
So if I go to this blocked layer and it's highlighting license and connect, I say, okay, that's why it's not moving, it's
Can-
black locked.
Since it's locked, can you do license number in where it says text 13? So in the future, whenever you use it, you'll know that's the one.
Exactly, yes, you can rename any of these layers as well.
Good.
So if you're adding a whole bunch of new things or you're dropping in new elements and you just want to make sure as you're going through, you know what you're looking at any given time, you can always just readjust and say license.
And then you can, when you're creating them in the future, you can do the ones that might be locked
Yep,
with a name so people can find them.
exactly. And for the most part, these are fairly self-explanatory. When it comes to text, they kind of just populate as is.
Yeah.
So these ones are a little bit tougher. But the more you familiarize yourself with it, the more you'll come to kind of understand the system. But that's that. Let's see, we've got that. We've covered how to switch out some photos. All of this text is editable. And again, if you're licensed in Connecticut, say you're also licensed in New York, same deal as before. If you want to unlock that, you can now go in and add the NY. And then sometimes these boxes start to overlap, so I'm just going to, same deal, select all, and I'm just going to deselect, deselect, deselect. Hey, come on, last guy. Select, deselect, deselect. And I'm going to, with the arrow key, just nudge this guy over so that no one is overlapping. And we're looking pretty good. That away, and now I'm going to zoom out and see my design in full. And that's looking pretty good.
The disclosures is there a list of things where you need to have the disclosures on or off of, or is that?
Rule of thumb, any print material will have this on. This is, your equal housing disclosures and all that, as well as the Forbes disclosure. So anything that has the Higgins Group Forbes combo logo is going to be required to have this on it as well. Like I said, it's already baked in, you don't have to worry about it. Alrighty,
Apparently just print.
okay, so our design is looking pretty good. I think we're ready to go. I'm ready to share this with the world. From your guys' end, you're going to have to submit this to compliance. It's going to make sure that things are spelled correctly. Sometimes, it'll be like
our words, yeah.
in which case, if you're going to be doing a lot of Westport or you're going to be using your last name, you just add it to your dictionary and it's not going to flag that anymore.
Oh,
And you're good to go. And you can look in your dictionary and you can see all these words that, they're not spelled wrong, they just don't recognize them. And if you have a new word that is going to be coming up, you can say, okay, I'm going to add so-and-so's last name, or I'm going to add, this town or this restaurant. And then we don't have to worry about that. But so we've submitted to compliance, and now, I'll get that notification in my inbox, I'll review, but in the meantime, it's going to be giving you this prompt saying.
So FYI, and I know this is coming up, but like if we know, just like for anything, we know you're going on vacation.
Mhm.
If we have to do print, we should remember that because we want you to check it before you go, correct?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Although someone will have to be.
Yeah.
I can hand the keys of the kingdom to someone else while I'm out and say,
But
hey.
just, it's not
Yeah.
hard if we
Yeah.
know, and yes,
Correct.
some things pop up, but.
Exactly. If you know, please be correct. It's a great point.
Correct. All right, so once this gets dropped into my inbox, I'll say yes or no on it. I think I might have given myself a notification if we go over here. No, I don't think that dropped in yet. Okay, but
Did you push submit?
I did, but I'm in my own account, so it's, getting a little bit
But you
confused.
push the little blue button there? I don't think you did that one.
Oh, that's embarrassing. All right. I'm so used to not having to submit my stuff to compliance that I forget my own protocol. All right, so I'm just gonna refresh and then show you guys kind of what I see on my end. All righty, well, that's the inbox. Okay, my design is being reviewed. How cool. This is what you'll get in your inbox once you submit your design. It's been submitted for review. You can either go back to your dashboard, but it's a heads up that, yep, you did the process and I just gotta wait on me. I get this review, or I get this pop-up, which says, hey, someone submitted a design for you to look at. Well, I'm now going to go to compliance, make sure things check out. Oh, look, my design, how cool. Give it a once over, And I can open this image in my editor if I want to jump in and move things
What are you
around.
looking for where it would not pass for your compliance level?
So generally speaking, if you're using kind of a funky font, we have all of these designed with certain brand standards in mind, and there's room for creativity. But if you're doing, sideways bright pink font, across the page, or, you're adding, things that don't service the design, the best way it could. In that case, I'll say, hey, maybe rethink this. Oh, let's rethink, this text box.
Tone it down a little
See
bit.
how nice she does it?
Yeah, you wouldn't do it like me.
Gloria, yeah.
Okay, try again.
Well, I want
What the hell? Just tell me what we want.
I want to encourage you
Try
guys.
again.
I do want to encourage you guys to have some creative twists to this. These will be your designs. You do have some reign to, you can Colleen-ify it. You can Florida it.
It'll be
Sparkles,
You can put your spin on it. Just be mindful of, how far is,
Yeah.
how far needs some guide rails.
That's funny. That's great.
But this design looks great to me. I'm gonna go ahead and approve it. Sweet. Thank you for approving my design, Grace. If I go to here, and I'm gonna refresh. Let's see, let's scroll down. Well done, your design's been approved.
Oh.
Yay.
What happens if it doesn't get approved? I want to see what it looks like. Do you get like an X?
Do you get an email as well?
There will be a notification
That's what I
that
mean. You get a
says,
notification with an X saying. try
saying you
again.
have to, make these corrections, and then you.
Oh,
submit
it'll
one.
tell you. You'll
Yes,
tell us.
I have the ability
You
to
did
write
say
a note
that,
and
sorry,
say, fix X, Y, and Z, make these changes, and then you submit one more time,
Okay.
or however many times it takes for it to move forward. But now that this has been approved, I now have access to download. I can share it. I
Can you share
print.
it for a second?
Absolutely. So this is going to share the design itself. So I can either share this to social media and say, hey, check out this great design.
Can you push copy
I'm gonna copy.
and they'll go and open a new tab?
I'm gonna open a new tab and I'm gonna do. And look,
And can you click, oh, you took the Facebook. I wanted to see if it clicked on that. I wanted to make sure that it was linkable.
that's an excellent question. Oh, because that's QR, it's not a link. That's why it's not. Okay. Well, okay, so if we go into the editor, we're going to do a little tweak, bearing in mind now that we have to go back and we're gonna have to resubmit, but I'm also in the driver's seat, so I don't have to follow those exact rules.
So can you preview it before you submit it, like to check your links?
So that's going to be kind of like a personal double check, but I can also make sure that that is.
Oh, wait, no, not that one. The Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
That's a little,
Give me those uploads, give me those social medias. Give me a Facebook. Sticky there. And that, and we're going to link. To those you just. Okay. Get this. We're going to go to. I know it's not actually Facebook.
and you have to have the HTTP.
Yes, it needs to be the full link. Okay, so now I'm going to save this. And I'm going to cheat and just do it for my dashboard. I don't need to worry about this being through compliance. Gonna share, gonna copy. Open. Here. Huh. Interesting.
Maybe you have to download it.
That may be. All right. But also from here, I'll move you guys over. There are a few ways to share this. You can send this in an email, to the person of choice.
Do you want to send it to me?
Sure.
And I'll open it and see if I can link on that. Because a lot of
You
these,
send it mass email?
I think we would be using as an email
Mm-hmm.
link or as an email picture. It's also a PDF, not a ping, so can you save it as a JPEG?
You can save it as a JPEG. You can, if you see this dropdown, you can see the different files that you can save it as. So standard is great if you're printing this at home. Proof is good if you're, still making edits and you want to send to your clients, letting them know like, hey, this is not file, this is for review. You can do it with print marks or just the solid images or the flat images. I'm just going to send this as a PDF standard. And I'm not going to send this to user groups. I'm just going to send this to Julie. And that's going to send her the final design. If I want to send her as just like
email template, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's more for like HTML stuff. If I want to share this like design template to another user, however, if someone sees your flyer and says, hey, that's a really nice layout, can I use that for this listing I want to use? You can then share it to, say I'm sending this to Colleen at Vanderblue.
No, Colleen M at Vanderbilt.
Colleen M at Vanderblue. And then this will appear on her dashboard as a design that's been shared with her. It'll look just like this, and then she can go in and edit it as she wants.
Got it.
But bear in mind, when you share these designs, it's not a shared document necessarily. It's not like me and Colleen can be in here at the same time and we see each other's edits. Colleen has a copy of this design in her dashboard, but any design edits she makes is only going to live on hers. It's not going to affect this main document.
Got
So
it.
if you share your design with other people, you don't need to worry about them accidentally overwriting your stuff.
Do we have templates where there's 2 agents on
We
there?
sure do. We sure do. So if we go back down to
And if you search like 2 agents,
so if we go over here.
Click where, Julie? Julie, the click where?
Yep.
I didn't get it yet.
Eric,
But to Julie's point, we can just search 2 agent in the search bar, and we'll see what templates populate that already have 2 agent bills.
Oh, you know what? When you copied that link, so we gotta figure this out. I got this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's not sharing the final design, it's sharing the template. So which is
yeah.
solvable.
What did you get? Did she email it to you?
I shared her the
she
template.
just shared the template.
I think you have to
Okay.
download it and then.
Yes, download and then share that way.
Well, can we try that? Can you go back? to
No,
the-
absolutely. So if we go
back to-
over here. Come on, in. So we can just edit from here. Or we can access the download out there as well. But now that this has been approved by compliance, this download is now available to you. Before that button was grayed out, but now that it's been approved, we can take this however we want.
The problem with the PDF, and I could be wrong, but I don't think you can put a PDF as a photo in a subject. Like you have, when you upload, if you're emailing something and you want the photo to be there, a PDF, you cannot,
A PDF will be its own separate
Link.
document, yes.
so it'll be an attachment. So you would save it as a pin.
You can save it as a PNG or you can save it as a JPEG.
So it
JPEG will be
says
smaller,
Yeah.
but
so
PNG, if you want to make sure that it looks as crisp as possible,
I
would be the
would say a
recommended.
pin, then so save it, download, and
So
then
then
try to text it to me or email it to me.
Mhm,
Or you can just go into your email,
exactly.
compose.
All right. And I'm going to move you beautiful people out of here. I'm gonna drop this in like so. And lo and behold, we've got a beautiful flyer in there for people to take a look at. Got my compliance.
What I asked you.
Sure, that's that, that's download, all right. Okay, any questions so far? Anything anyone needs clarification on or want to cover in depth? Otherwise, I'm going to hop off to my next topic.
Just scroll through.
Nice full house. Let's go check some things off. We're blowing through my itinerary, which I love. Got the export. Okay, this is the part that I can kind of speak to a little bit, your print card. So once your design is approved, you do have the option to print through the MAXA platform. They have a printer company that they partner with that we have access to print through them. Yeah, it's not free, you do have to pay. But you do have options to go through, a specific printer if you want things looking a certain way. The default is this 12-point glossy cover. You can mail it directly to your client. You can have, certain number of quantities. You see all this information. And then from here, you can either send it to your client or you can send it to yourself.
What's the minimum
That is an excellent question. Minimum is 25.
for 1450?
Yep. And that's, with this kind of base setup. Not to mention, we also have shipping, which you have to be aware of. It's $20 for shipping on top of. So it's not, it is an aspect of the platform that is there.
But you don't,
Kind of a hard
we can
sell.
print
those rates.
locally or print anywhere.
Yes, absolutely. If you just want to download the PDF and print from the office printer, by all means do that
Or send it
versus,
to Bargain Basement or whatever.
or send it wherever. That's not going to charge you $20 for shipping. These people, I believe, are based out of like West Coast, which explains why it's so expensive because it's shipping cross country. Again, it's there if you want it. You can go somewhere closer,
Yeah.
is my recommendation.
So just so you know, the picture didn't link.
Hmm.
So we'll get back to you guys on that. We'll check into that.
Yeah, nosy around. Cool. So that's that. Let's see, what else can we do in here? We got listing presentations. The mailer card is actually pretty cool. If we go into, if I find my postcards. Let's see, what in my library? Let's pull this market update. I'm going to create a design. And this is that kind of instance where if we're pulling a 2-agent template, this is where it's going to prompt to select your partner.
And does it have a link to all of us?
No, you have to input from your account page which partners that you want to have included. So that's a manual entry that you do, but once you do it in your account, then those exist to.
And you gotta bring that picture in too, right?
Correct.
Everything.
Correct. You need to
Okay.
bring their headshot. It's a one-time upload from your account settings, and then it'll populate from there.
Okay.
But again, if anything ever needs to be updated in the future, you do have to do that manually on your end. But I'm just going to join partner settings. I'm just going to jump in. And nothing's populating because this is a base template. For these towns and informations, that is going to be on you guys to hunt down that information. Thankfully, we get market updates once a month, so it's just a matter of double checking that information and popping it in for whatever town you want. We're doing Fairfield. Let's see what the Fairfield photos are looking at. I don't think I've already here with you guys yet. If we go to the Fairfield photos, you'll see a range of really cool free to use aerial shots. You want to showcase the beach. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice photo of Fairfield. I'm just going to drop that in. You can see down here that since I don't have a partner, nothing's populating. That's just going to be the base template information. But for the sake of example, this mailer is done. I want to go print it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're doing an EDDM or whatever,
Mhm.
and you don't need that, can I just see if this is locked?
So that's not EDDM. That is the kind of disclaimer that does have to stay there.
But I mean, but it has to stay on the page.
Yes.
So if I right click on this, if I go to layers, since this is not right clicking,
Mhm. That's going to be red locked.
that's right.
So you will not have the ability to turn that lock on and
But if I could, and now that it's you,
on. Mhm.
But that's not EDDM because you don't have the stamps there.
Correct.
so in a regular, I'm just seeing, I'm not gonna change it. But if I wanted to move this,
You should be able to. It's highlighted, just click and drag.
over here, so that it wasn't so busy,
That would be an option. For the sake of this specific design, it does have to live over there.
yeah, so I'm gonna go under. kind of did everything.
No, it's just thinking about it.
Okay. So just, wondering if, but if this was the EDDM where you could have some on the other side,
Yep,
I could go to you and say, can you unlock that for me?
absolutely.
Move it over so it's not as busy and heavy on that side. You know what I'm saying? Because the one that you
Yes.
guys did, there was 3. So if you didn't already print those, I would move that since it's EDDM. Move that disclaimer to the other side so that it's not you two with Nick and then the disclaimer. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, and I will say, if anything ever comes up during the course of your design, or even if you, submit it to a certain printer and they come back and say, hey, our bleeds are different from this other, this other company, we need to rearrange so that fits within. I'm more than happy to rearrange the static elements as is needed for any given situation. Perfect, all right.
Thank you.
So this mailer is looking pretty good. We've done nothing to it, but let's just say we're done here. These fields need to be edited, ignore and continue. I'm just kind of blasting through this because it's not really about the design. It's going to be about what we can do with it in a platform after this. I don't care that my form is.
So if you put this on social media, let's say you want to post this on Insta, does it change the formatting so that it?
This will not automatically resize to fit Instagram formatting now.
So this is not the best place to design something for.
I wouldn't design a mailer and then post it to social media. But we have social media templates that we can then pull this mailer information, say, hey, here's the market update. Let's, insert that in one of the social media templates that's already formatted for like the Instagram conventions. And then from there you can download to your phone and then upload online.
So can you copy from like a mailer to a social media?
Yes, you can have 2 different editors open at the same time. And if you copy here, you can paste it in the other document. So if you have a line of text or you have a nice sort of layout of stuff here that you really like, you can copy, this section of information into a different page. I know I was just kind of ragging on the MAXA print shop earlier, but when it comes to mailers, it is another option for you guys to use if you want to kind of keep things one-stop shop. All the MAXA designs are already like approved by their print companies. Stuff should fit within their print boundaries, whatever. You should be set to go that way. And again, it's another situation of they have their preset print parameters, gloss cover. You can either mail it to client or you can mail it to a list. You can schedule out your mailer for a certain day. Let's see. If you're doing EDDM, it prompts you with one thing. If you're mailing to a list, you can either upload your mailing list via CSV file, or you can use the MAXA mailing lists, which is kind of its own adventure over here that we're going to take a little detour on. So let's do
06824.
06824. Do it by zip code. We can do radius around an address, and then we can filter even further. So if we really only want this going to single families, owner occupied, adjust it by home market value,
Wow.
estimated income,
Oh my God, that's pretty amazing.
here and here. And you can see the number of leads is changing according to how specific we get. So,
Wow. The estimated income, I'm surprised they even let you do that. It's like bias, you know?
then we can show some additional options. We really only want residencies with that and that. We do inferred married, year built,
What
like
about race
residency.
and religion? Can we just get?
Okay, we're not going to. But you can see the more specific you get, the fewer leads you get for that mailing list.
Okay.
So that's one option in order to create a mailing list through MAXA. So right now at these specific parameters, you've got 318 households. So we're just going to say, yeah,
How much
that's
that
good.
is to mail.
It does change things. The more addresses you have, obviously, the
The more
different
cost.
price point.
So try to do something around 250 because that's what we use for prospect. Plus,
Yeah, that's true.
just out of
Okay.
Curiosity,
That's an excellent
or
question.
200.
$200, though, you don't know. She's not talking about people.
Right.
No, we do
let's just-
200 people and it
Yeah,
comes out right around 250.
Yeah, I know. And so this is, it gets a little bit tricky trying to like ballpark it at that point.
And they don't have the map,
So if you want to do radius around an address,
but you
That's
can't.
what we do a lot.
But
yeah,
there's one that we used to use that you go on the map and you actually can draw a little square around
Yeah.
this area and a little square around that area.
let's just do. So a 10-mile radius around that address gives us 15,000. So let's maybe narrow that down a little bit, single family, full market value, let's
You
do.
may want to hire the
Higher.
market value
Yeah.
based on that, Melanie.
So we're gonna go shrinking that up, so it's going like that. Household income, let's go. I don't know what numbers are.
Or go higher, household income.
Alrighty, and let's see what that's doing.
I would just do one mile. A
Alright,
mile is pretty, 5 miles is pretty high.
alright.
I can do all the way.
There we go. That's still a lot. So you push and play until you get to some place that,
Pick Monroe and one.
yeah. So now we're getting closer, 440. Again, the more specific, the more it narrows down.
Do American, yeah, just do American, see how many.
And now we're down to 215.
All right, so
All right.
let's see how much that costs.
So with all of that, with these very specific parameters, if you want them nicer, that, you know, that price is going to go up. This is kind of base materials, bulk postage versus a first class ship.
We usually do, don't we usually do glossy cover side and some UV?
Yeah, gloss cover.
Yeah, okay.
And then, you know, minimum quantity, the 200 to 479. This order is now coming out to $230.
Okay.
Is that including mailing?
Would you like to mail the prints to yourself or additional prints to yourself? Actually, I'll click that button. This is sending out to that mailing list.
So it's mailing and printing to that
Correct.
specific mailing. list.
So that's
That's about the same. as
About
what
the
we
same.
do.
Yep, with
This
any,
is easier, right? Or no?
it's an option.
And can you save that mailing list?
I believe if you
Here,
go
yeah,
through their
it's
progress, yeah, you can use previously saved mailing list. So if you go through with this order, this list will stay in your print settings that you can then refer to if you're doing that specific neighborhood.
what size is that though?
This
That-
size, this mailer is
That
11 by 6.
That was the difference, I think. What size are the?
That's so 11, right?
I think it's
That's what we did for yours,
okay.
Colleen.
Right.
We're 11 by 6s.
Yeah.
So they're the
They're big
long-
ones. I like
The
those. ones.
panoramic ones, I think, are a little bit longer and tighter.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 12 by 5.5.
Can I, at the risk of taking too long, can you just go, and I think just playing on this is a good idea.
Yep.
But go to email, mail, like a newsletter. There is a newsletter template, right?
There it is. So,
Because I think newsletters are really important that I haven't done.
mhm.
And it's different than our blue bulletin. It's like from you to your people every single month with whatever you want in it.
Yep.
And
So we have a couple of different newsletter templates. We have HTML, which are clickable, and then I've been playing with Dan and Bill as far as how to get this to populate through like your follow-up boss, if you want to send them through there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. You can do it that way or no?
It is
We're working on
it's
it.
an in development. It should be possible though, to be able to embed the code into your follow-up boss email and then distribute that way. Because if you
That's what I
go
was
through,
trying to figure out how to, yeah.
yeah, because
Worst
with,
case, you can save it to a PDF and then upload it into your.
Yes, that-
And the links don't work.
that is the caveat. So if you do it through the HTML builder, you will have the option to create clickable links.
Yeah, if you
So
can
all of
change
these
it.
photos, all of your social medias down here will exist as icons that you can click throughout your mailer or your e-blast versus the different email letter campaign, which like David said, is more PDF that you send out. that you can still edit, and this is probably going to feel more familiar to the rest of the flyers that way. The HTML editor is something that even I kind of have some difficulty in figuring out. It just requires a different way of operating. This may be like a good first start. Like Krista said, it's not clickable, but it is sharp and you can edit these different sections. So if 1 month you want to give a market update, you want to talk about something you just sold, you can add in another section that speaks to, oh, here's this event coming up that you can find in this month.
But if you're sending it out through follow-up boss, you could still have your regular clicks that are clickable. Correct.
Sure.
Well, if it's all one piece, you can't choose pieces.
But if you have your bottom,
If you have your own like email
Banner.
footer or whatever, your
Right.
additional links will be able
then your
to,
additional links will be clickable.
in theory, yes.
You have a few questions in the chat.
Okie dokie, let me check out what's going on in chat here. Oh, by Tanya and by Ellen. Hope you guys had a good time. Once again, this meeting is being recorded, so anyone who wasn't here today will be able to review all of this stuff, and anyone who's checked out late or early will be able to go back and catch up on whatever they've missed.
Awesome. So exciting.
Yeah,
It's
very
neat.
good.
It is a very, very meaty platform. And when I say that, like, I can see like who's using it and for what, I want to see more people using it because this is such a powerful tool for you guys. It's already custom branded. 90% of the work has been done for you. All you have to do is log in, get your beautiful faces on there, and then add whatever information is like needs to be in, you know, a given template.
And these are so perfect for even smaller properties that, you know, you can't,
Exactly.
or you don't have the time to do a full brochure.
Mm-hmm.
At least what you're putting out there, even if it's a two-sided, is gonna look awesome.
Correct.
Way better than what other people are doing, so it's cost effective.
Correct. And like I said, because I have admin access, I have the ability to create new and different templates and categories as needed.
Yeah.
I will
Use it
say
for the
it,
open house.
I will say, when it comes to certain templates and builds, it is time consuming. So if you have something that you say, hey, I really need, you know, a specific, you know, flyer or build out with these dimensions, with these parameters, that may very well be a 2-week turnaround time for me in order to create it and then get it live for the team to use. So just as a heads up, if you need something very specific, I can make it. It's just being aware of what my table looks like at a given day, and then how long and how time intensive the specific build out is.
You know, it'd be good to have here, Jill, remember the cards that we used to make that we would give to our clients that say that they can leave at open houses represented by?
Mhm.
Those
Yeah.
are great, because my clients sign in, they put my name down, but
Mhm.
Represented by.
so many
for-
times people
yeah.
are like, they're hesitant, but if they can just do that,
Mhm.
just give them to your clients, especially now with so many buyers that we have that are going to open houses.
That's a
Right.
good idea.
Yeah.
If we can put it in here and boom, plop it in and go to
And
print.
it has their name and just their name, doesn't have their phone number. It says represented by Flori Polverari,
Right,
Bill and John Jackson, and they just leave that card.
right.
And it has our information.
Because if I got that, then I'd be reaching out, I
You
send just
know
text,
exactly
I'll
what
say,
you're
oh, David, that's just
Yeah.
representing them, and then I
Right.
let you know, hey, your clients came to my open house. Because those are the calls I get on Sunday night, and I'm like, I had no idea they were going to see
Right.
that house, but, I love it, but, that's really good to give to your buyers.
Yeah.
And if we can do them here, it takes 2 seconds to create it.
Mhm. And like I said, you know, I try to, I've been doing more in the platform, creating new templates. You can see here, you get notifications when certain new templates go live. For about 2 weeks, I'll have that pop up. So if you're going in here and you're like, oh, there's a new Instagram story template, you can pop in and see what's new. Same deal with things like the listing presentation stuff. So I have, like, in my own schedule, trying to bake in time to create new templates for you guys to use. Like I said, next up on the docket is going to be creating the property profile covers and all of that, so that rather than trying to figure out publisher or rather than waiting on me to create it, you have that ability to do it here, and it looks just as nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
And
that's
the one thing that I want to make a priority for me, and this might not be the right tool, is the kind of newsletter versus, so it's less like Blue Bulletin, like if you go to our newsletters,
Mhm.
I'm picturing like type it like actual, a letter
Mhm.
with the date, like, remember the old fashioned newsletters where you'd have a person's face and you'd have what they're writing, and then underneath it's got pictures, and the pictures are linkable.
Mhm.
So it might be like, hey, and I would love to see a video embedded, so I could see
Oh, wow.
having a newsletter every month saying, hey, it's January, we're gonna get that, so below you're gonna find clicks to top tips on such and such. And we're doing a new promo with outdoor design, so click that for the coupon. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is the right venue, it might be Canva.
I think
Yeah, it
that's,
sounds like Bon Bon almost.
Yeah, it could be BombBomb, I wanted to look similar, like with
Yeah.
the banner at the top that says newsletter. So that it's recognizable and that it's templated,
mhm.
so that you can just change the little article you write about. And the clicks below, but the problem is it's gotta be HTML because all the links have to be linkable.
Yes.
So it might be a BombBomb. It might be a Canva, but that's something that I'd love
Yeah.
to see in the future.
Gabriella, I see your hand is raised. What can I do for you?
Yeah, just the question was, for example, like if you want to send like happy 4th of July or happy Thanksgiving or whatever to your SOI via email, which is what I used to do before.
Mhm.
Like, what's the best venue to do that? Like, can you do it through here or is it like something else?
So this is the design platform. So this is less for direct distribution. You can, I believe, if you have a MailChimp account, send through here. But when it comes to sending things directly to your sphere, it will be a matter of downloading from this platform, whatever design you have, and then disseminating from there.
Yeah, but there was a way to like have it like automated. So you could potentially like, for example, like it's gonna come, like now it's like Mother's Day, no? So then you can like pre-program all of it, like Mother's Day, 4th of July or whatever.
Holidays.
And then you can pre-design,
Holidays.
you know, like 4 or 5, and then like have them come out on a specific date.
So we do have, I think under social media, there definitely are templates for social media holiday posts. I think I just need a
It was not social media. It's, well, social media would be one thing,
Mhm.
but the other thing would be like a mail, email blast to like my SOI. So
Yeah.
for example, like, you know, like you set it up or to go out on Mother's Day, like you set it up, I don't know, Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah.
then, you
Yeah,
know,
like-
4th of July, blah, blah, blah. Like,
No, I understand what you're saying. I can definitely create the graphics for these, like for these holiday outreach notifications. You just won't be able to do that through MAXA. This is not a contact platform. This is a design platform.
So you
so
would
you
download
have
it
to
and
drag it from here and then send it through some other platform out.
Correct.
most likely follow-up boss.
Okay,
So it's design here
thank you.
and email from somewhere else.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's about everything I've got. Are there any other questions? Anything you can speak to? Like I said, oh, Gabrielle hand is still raised or?
No, 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 I need to learn how to lower it. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
There you
No
go.
worries. There we go. Okay.
Thank you. That was-
That's what I got for my presentation. Like I said, this is recorded. We'll send it back out again and follow up. But if anyone has any questions, or if while you're working on it, you just need some clarification or assistance, you're more than welcome to book some time on my calendar to help, walk through. I'm in the office every day, so if you're in there working and need a little bit of assistance, feel free to reach out with questions. Otherwise, let's get to working in MAXA. It's fun. It's better for you guys to, get working on this, to really learn the system, and it's very exciting. So that's my stump speech. I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys start using this.
Thank
Much grace.
All right, people. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here.
Happy birthday, Brandy, everybody, tell her.
And happy birthday, Brandy.
Golfing.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
All right.
Hey.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Good work.